What do you think?
Well, what do I think? I think we are live here on WCRS Radio. Are we? Yes, we are. And we are live on Facebook. Are we? Yes, we are. So good morning, Greenwood. Woo! What a week I've had. I'm going to tell you what. Interviewing Shelley Reed Tuesday. Interviewing the Lieutenant Governor on Wednesday. Yesterday we interviewed a nice sit-down interview right here in studio with Representative Sherry Biggs. And we covered a lot of ground yesterday afternoon. So here's the routine. We're already live on Facebook, so we don't have to take a little commercial break. So we're going to go directly into this just as soon as I say a few words. Yes, I'm going to say this. Number one, if you missed the Patriots event last night out there at the farmers market, you missed a great one. That is for sure. It was inspirational. It was full of those that have served or are serving us. It was absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So I know that a lot of people say, oh, well, we don't need to go do that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So it was great, and a lot of people giving thanks last night. So for all our first responders, I do think at the end, John, usually they play the melodies for the four or five different branches of the service. Well, last night they decided to have all of them come right up on the on the stage and have each of them raise their hands when their melody was called. And then they brought in, 101-year-old veteran that just made it at the very end of the evening, and it just brought everybody. And he walked in, had a walker, but he walked in on his own right up there to the podium where he was congratulated and celebrated for his service. So I just wanted to say what a great night it was. Now, I will tell you, I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I have done to myself, but I don't know whether it was the dancing last Thursday night, what else could it have been? Climbing in and out of the truck, running around with Penny in the backyard. But I have a pain in my butt mess, and I tell you what, it's making it pretty difficult to walk. But I wouldn't have missed that for the world. So, great event last night. What a great deal. So Representative Biggs was there. She spoke. Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett was not able to be there. She had done a video. And then there were other speakers and honoring of all our different departments, and not only Greenwood, but in Ware Shoals and in Lawrence. Good night. Good night. So, thank you to all that attended, and it's good to feel patriotic. You know, that's what I love about it. It's good to feel patriotic. And, you know, one of the songs that I really enjoy, and I play it quite often on the morning show before I come on, is Old Fashioned. Let's see, Call Me Old Fashioned. and it talks about all the different things that were and how they're just not there anymore. And I think that sometimes you look, I listen to that song and I say, yeah, what happened? All right. Well, anyways, so bottom line is, because I have another place to be at 11 this morning, and I have a puppy that says you've got to do certain things for me. So what we're going to do this morning is I'm going to quit talking. Well, I know that's difficult for you to believe, but I am going to play. Excuse me. I'm going to play the interview I did with, hold on a second, please. I'm going to play the interview that I did with Sherry Biggs, and that way I can, you'll be able to, it's a video, it was a live interview yesterday. You'll be able to go back and watch it if you don't get to see the whole thing. If you do want to see the whole thing again, it is right on our Facebook page, WCRS 98.5 FM, 1450 AM. Also, it's on, maybe already on our webpage, WCRS 1450am.net, WCRS 1450am.net. So, that's something I wanted to make sure that you know that is there. And we are going to now check the weather, and then we're going to play that interview this morning, and then I'll be back to close it out. But yes, I am going to leave you in the capable hands of our interview from yesterday right here in studio. But let's go ahead and check the weather. It is lovely out there. Right now it is 51 degrees. Oh, it's lovely. We're looking for a high of 72. We're looking for a low tonight of 42. And on Saturday, a high of 70, low of 46. Again, plentiful sunshine. Sunday comes in with a high of 66 for low of 48, 15% chance of rain. However, Monday, we're going to get socked in. High of 54, low of 47, and a 95% chance of rain. That sounds like getting socked in to me, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So I just wanted to give you a little update. But after Monday on Tuesday, high of 57, low of 46, but we will not be having Wednesday. Looks like we may get some rain, but the rest of the week is going to be pretty clear and in the mid-60s. All right, so without further ado, if you happened to watch it yesterday or have previewed it, you may get something more out of it. I always find that I get a lot more out of something, sometimes the second time, sometimes the third time that I watch or listen to it. But let's go ahead and cue her up. And yes, let's cue her up and let's make this happen. And that is what we're going to do. I do want to remind you that you want to remember there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of trick-or-treat events going on this weekend, as well as For the Love, which starts, I believe, at 5 o'clock today, and Saturday it starts at either 10 or 11 o'clock. Music all over in the Foursquare, which is right there right there at Maxwell and Oregon. Of note, this big stage, which will be open for tonight and tomorrow night, is on Oregon Avenue. It is not at the marketplace in Uptown Greenwood. So kind of a throwback to the older days when we used to have that on Oregon. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to put this on. Let's see. Let's put this on. There we go. And we're going to take it away. I'll be back. Oh, that's right. That's right. This is not Meet Me at the Diner, but it is close. It's a pop-up interview right here on WCRS. We're not live on the radio this afternoon, but we are in studio. And today, my very special guest, who's been working hard in our district, seeing everybody, talking to everybody. She's another one that's everywhere, been everywhere, doing everything, that Johnny Cash song. It is my favorite representative, Sherry Biggs, Representative Sherry Biggs. How are you doing today, Sherry? Oh, forgot to check that. Okay, how are you doing today, Sherry?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Yes, we are. We're looking at your name being Shelley Reed. That was the other day. Close. But I'm here with Sherry Biggs here today, and we are going to be talking about all the good things that she is doing here in our district. So, gosh, Sherry, what have you been doing?
It's been pretty busy. You know, with the government shutdown, our office is working wide open in D.C., and here in the district, we're continuing just to carry on as if we were open in D.C., and hopefully we'll get back soon. But in the meantime, I am covering all 11 counties, speaking to our constituents, making sure that my ear is to the ground and I know what our needs are, and I'm representing you as well as I can for the 3rd District.
Well, I expect this has been a great opportunity, actually, to be able to spend this much time in the district. 23 days, I understand the shutdown's been going on.
Well, it's a lot longer than we anticipated, and certainly would love to see an end to it, but we plan on making the best of our time, making sure that we know what our constituents need and that we're able to be here and help them in those crises. So,
sure. Well, have you heard anything? Because that's exactly what I want to talk about. But have you heard anything about the ending of it? What is the word in Washington, D.C.?
No end in sight that I'm aware of. We have been on leadership calls with the speaker and the leadership team, and you know, there's nothing to negotiate. We passed a clean CR through the House side, sent it over to the Senate, and they can't get it through. And, you know, I wish there were something that we could discuss and at least get back to work. The clean CR was just to keep business going and to help pay our military and to help pay our federal workers. You know, there's nothing controversy in it. And so we're just going to have to see what the Democrats are asking. It can't happen. You know, they're trying to hold the citizens hostage, and they're asking for a $1.5 trillion, I call it a woke wish list, but we can't give in to that. We can't.
I understand, and I think that it is understandable. But in a question, is there something to be discussed on health care when the government gets back open? Is that part of any plan with the Republicans with the Democrats?
You know, there's a lot of things that we need to work on, and I think health care is probably a priority. I would say yes, that is a priority, and we're going to have to get to the hard stuff. But right now, we can't work if we're shut down, so there's no need to not fund our military to to put a barrier in front of carrying on with daily business. So
I understand, but I think they have somewhat of a point. We have to address this health care. We do have to address health care. I just think they're actually going about it wrong. And I thought once we got to about the 14th or the 15th, this would be over. So I am rather surprised that it's still going on.
we are too, and it's hard to determine what the motive is. I think it's absolutely putting politics over people, and anything that President Trump is trying to accomplish, obviously they are trying to put a stop to it. And I think that's unfortunate because we, the taxpayers, are suffering.
That's right. And you told me that this morning you were in Newberry for a troop send-off. That had to be rough.
Right. It was. It was encouraging, though, to see so much support from the community. There were about 150 members that are getting ready to be deployed, and their families, their children were there. But the hard part is knowing about the uncertainty right now, wondering if they're going to be able to get a paycheck. How will their families survive in their absence? And that's the frustrating part of my job right now.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump into what you've heard around the district. I mean, I'm sure that we have small business owners, teachers, working families, not only in Greenwood but around the district, our military. What are you hearing from them?
Well, people are just unsettled, I think is a good word, because no one really knows what's going to happen. I mean, I'm a member of Congress, and I can't tell you when they're going to have the doors open and the lights on for us to go back to work. I think some of the people that are gaining a lot of attention are those that need WIC and nutritional support, single moms and infants and children. I'm concerned about that. How will they make ends meet? And what if there is an end to the SNAP benefits for those people who really heavily rely on that right now? We've already talked about our military. We've got farmers and those people in the ag industry. I'm hearing from them that they're concerned about the situation. Small business owners. I mean, it covers our entire district. Each person has the potential to be affected.
That's right. So, speaking of that, what about health care? I mean, from our doctors and mental health and this type of thing. I mean, mental health, I know, is a big subject of concern for you.
It is. And there's already a shortage. You know, earlier when I was with the troops, I talked to a couple people that their profession, they're subject matter experts in mental health, and just getting feedback from them and talking about the current situation. We all know that there's a shortage of healthcare providers, especially in the mental health realm. So I think that's just an area that we have to be in tune to. And my advice to those guys was look out for your partner, you know, buddy up with someone. And if you see someone having a tough time, we need to really reach out. And the same in the district. We have to make sure that our neighbors are taking care of our neighbors, and with the shortages and with people that may not have access as they should. And those are things when we do open back up in D.C., we're going to have to really get on it and move forward quickly.
So, yeah, I agree. And healthcare is one of those issues that affects everybody. So, and what about in some of the rural areas, particularly, Sherry? They don't. Some of those don't even have hospitals or very much healthcare in the district where they're at.
Right. And you know, we were moving this new bill forward in hopes that there would be money for rural hospitals and rural communities to provide access to health care. And that there was a lot of money and a lot of hope. But now with the shutdown, I mean, there's a lot at stake here. So hopefully we'll get back open and we can focus on our rural communities. I know it's really important for the 3rd District.
Absolutely. So, as we talk about some of the other things, a lot of our areas, and as we grow here in South Carolina, by the way, I'm speaking with Representative Sherry Biggs this afternoon on a little pop-up interview. Many people want to preserve our traditional community values. We got a lot of people moving into the area, though. I know if you were driving up from Newberry, I'm sure you've seen properties just cut over, just waiting for houses to build and everything. How do you feel that when you meet with city and county leaders in Greenwood, Abbeville, Pickens, what help are they asking for most from the federal level that they can't do on their own?
Well, we were in Edgefield yesterday, Greenwood today. I was in Newberry earlier. Oconee County has a lot of movement, and I think infrastructure is high on everyone's priority list. Just making sure that we have the facilities to accommodate all these people moving into our communities and into our state. And, something else that we have to think about is energy and having the capacity to accommodate all these new families and households coming in.
Plus the new industry, the
Absolutely.
AI is
Right.
just an energy hog, aren't they?
But I am excited from a business perspective, seeing expansions going on. I know there was a company yesterday that I was learning about in Oconee County. We've got growth at Samsung in Newberry. I mean, we could go on and on. So that is encouraging. We just have to make sure that we're growing and able to meet those needs.
Well, I think the other thing that is a problem is affordable housing. I mean, and always in Greenwood, we always say, well, those homes are $250,000. Well, is that affordable? I mean, for our everyday person, I don't know whether that really does fall into that. But that does fall under the government with the interest rates.
It does, and with the market as it is right now, and I think the uncertainty has a lot to deal with that. I mean, you look at the situation with the tariffs, there are a lot of concerned individuals.
Right.
And now with federal workers potentially not receiving a paycheck, I tell you one thing, though, I have seen a lot of people step up. Our credit unions and our banking institutions, I know we've been in communication with them trying to make sure that workers are able to receive assistance if they need it during the shutdown period when they're not getting a paycheck. And that really does your heart good to see neighbors helping neighbors and them offering 0% interest on loans to help short term. I'm encouraged by that.
I'm encouraged. That's very encouraging. But one of the things I would wonder, because a statement that President Trump made was that not everybody may get their back pay. I mean, that's kind of frightening, isn't it?
It is. It is. And there again, I said there's a lot of uncertainties right now, and it's really hard for me to anticipate what's going to happen. And the best thing that I know that we can do is have resources available that can help our constituents get through a crisis. And so that's what we plan to do. And if anyone needs any help during this shutdown, they're welcome to call our office. Our number is 864-224-7401, or you can check out our website at sherrybiggs.house.gov. But we are still open and working for our people, and we are here for you. So please don't hesitate to call.
And that is in your Anderson office?
It is.
In your Anderson office. Now, is there anybody up in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, yes. Both offices are wide open, so they can call either office.
Well, okay. Are they getting paid?
No.
But they're working.
They're working.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Kudos to Sherry Biggs' team, right? Sherry Biggs' team here.
I'm very grateful.
right, exactly. So, and let's see, what you do, I do see you took the opportunity to bring your press person from up there in Washington, D.C. down here, though, to see.
I did. Well, I feel like that's very important. We've had our district, a couple of our district personnel, they're taking turns kind of swapping up so that they have a good understanding of what we're doing in D.C. and then those in the D.C. office have an understanding and our boots on the ground here with our constituents in the district. I think that helps them do their job more efficiently, and am fortunate that they're willing to do that.
Right. So I think that's cool. Yeah, I think that's cool. And of course, we'll be coming up there, and Luke will have to show me around up there since it's been a few years since I was there. Now, I'm going to veer off track here, and then we'll come back to the upstate. How is Washington, D.C. since the cleanup? Is it as good as President Trump? And I know you're a Trump supporter, but, tell us the truth. Is it as good?
You would be really surprised at how clean everything looks. I've gone by in a car, going to a meeting, and I've actually seen people ripping flowers out of containers along the street and just disrupting everything. I haven't been there in a couple weeks,
right,
but there is nothing like that going on. The streets are clean. People are quiet and calm and going about their way.
Feel safe about walking around?
Absolutely. Completely different atmosphere.
I thought it was great when he did it, but then I was worried, well, will it stay that way, right? You can go in with a quick and clean something up, but if you don't address some of the other issues, can you actually keep it that way?
I hope so. I hope the people will see the difference, and law enforcement and just citizens in general will take pride in the area.
I agree. I think it's amazing, and I find it hard to believe that other communities wouldn't want their area cleaned up, like Chicago, Portland, some of these other things where they're fighting having these people come in and having the National Guard come in and clean up and do the job they should have been doing all along.
That's absolutely ridiculous. And, I think if it were anyone other than President Trump, I think they would be all on board. But unfortunately, they can't see the positive in anything that he does, and I think that's unfortunate for America.
It is. I just wonder how he feels every day when he's fighting the good fight. He knows he's doing something good, and you get all this angst coming your way. I guess that explains why he has to make sure that he says, well, we did this, right?
I think he was called to this position because I don't see how anyone else could withstand the heat.
I agree.
And I absolutely believe that the more negative they are and the more they throw at him, I think it just kind of fuels his fire and it makes him work even harder. And I think he's done an incredible job, and I'm very thankful that he's in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. I was talking with Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett last night, and her comment about Trump was, Trump didn't need this job, but the country needed Trump. The job needed Trump.
I can say that's a very good statement.
Yeah. I think it really, really puts it together. Well, let's talk just a little bit more about, our technical schools, and you've been all over. Have you been to technical schools? Are you hearing anything about what they're saying there? Do you get to talk to any students, for example?
I have. I was at Samsung for Manufacturing Day. There were students in there. Earlier this week, I was in Easley with Tri-County. I've met with Piedmont and actually toured their facilities. And it's encouraging from different angles to see how the manufacturing jobs are pairing with the schools so that they can have skilled workers, but also it gives the students a job that pays good salaries, and they don't have increased debt right out of college. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. But it just seems like there are more jobs than we have workers. So hopefully, I know there's a little bit of competitiveness from what I understand talking to the colleges on what they're offering and how to accomplish things. So I think only the students will benefit really well from that. So good for them. It's a good time to be interested in a new career and to be willing to, if you want to invest the time and energy, there are opportunities there.
Well, when you and I were growing up, well, I mean, I'm older than you, but when we were growing up, it was always go to college, right?
Oh, yeah.
Always go to college. And so to see this and to see what's happening, I think is tremendous. We've got Lander here with their nursing program, which is a four-year program that's expanding. Right. Piedmont Tech out there with theirs. They're just it. And then they've started out there at Tech this a new, quote, like G. Frank Russell, where they'll be doing training for kids in the middle school or high school, and then to transition to some of their programs.
Right. Well, I started out as an associate degree nurse, and it was very helpful. I later had the opportunity to go on and finish my degree and ended up with my doctorate, and I'm really happy to have been able to do that. But there's not like a clear-cut plan for every single individual, and what works well for one may not work the same for another individual. But I think there's just a variety of choices that people can make and earn a good living for their family and do well and be successful.
And the other thing is, those type of jobs, when you go home at the end of the day, you don't have to think about them anymore. I was always jealous of that.
Good point.
Yeah, that's true. So anyways, now let's talk just a little bit about veterans, and then I'll let you go. What are you seeing with our veterans across the state, or across our district, excuse me?
Well, it seems like the morale is good right now. As I mentioned, 150 members are getting ready to deploy, and we were able to speak to every one of them this morning, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. And South Carolina is very unique, and the 3rd District is even better because there's so much patriotism and there's so much love. And I watched the leadership there during that meeting, and there's so much support. Not only was there, an outward sign of appreciation for the members, but also for the families. I mean, they had gifts for the children, and it really does your heart well to see neighbors helping neighbors and uplifting each other. So I'm grateful for South Carolina's military members, and I think we have a lot to be proud of here in the 3rd District. And I guess that's why I fight so hard for our military and for our veterans, because I see the sacrifice, and nobody loves this country more than I do. And that's why I'm grateful to President Trump, because I think he has a heart, and he wouldn't be doing and enduring all of the obstacles that he has. I mean, they tried to kill the man twice. Right. And, for him to be able to work as hard as he does, I just think it's amazing. But it makes me proud to be representing the 3rd District, and it makes me happy to live in South Carolina.
I think you're absolutely right. I'm from Maine originally. So when I came to South Carolina and saw all this it was foreign to me. I mean, because in Maine, they don't do that kind of stuff. So, and that's one of the things I love.
We might have been born in other states, Miss Ann, but we're going to die in South Carolina, right?
Exactly. We are going to die in South Carolina. That's right. And so I think that it makes such a difference when you see the outpouring and the love in the community. So Sherry, this evening, by the way, we've got Representative Sherry Biggs with us, and we are just finishing up this evening, this afternoon with her. She is going to be, where are you going to be this afternoon?
Oh, we're going to the barbecue, and I'm pretty excited that
Patriots Barbecue.
Oh yes, that Representative McCravey included me in that, and we're going to be showing our appreciation for our veterans and for our law enforcement and our first responders, and I'm just happy to be going to that.
Well, I know that Representative John McCravey, he was on the air and we talked about it. He is very excited about you being able to be here. And so in fact, on the poster here, you are first up, special guest, Congressman Sherry Biggs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there you go.
I better get a speech prepared, huh?
Yeah, you better. I think he's anticipating you to say a few words. But Sherry, you are the hardest working person in Congress. We've said this many times. You could have kicked back a little bit during this time, but I think I see you every day out in the district.
I'm working really hard, but I'm honored, and I'm trying to let my constituents know that I am here for them. My team works as hard as I do, and we're just grateful for this opportunity. So again, if we can do anything during this shutdown for any of your listeners, we want to be here and we want to be helpful, and we're here to work for you. So
absolutely. Well, Sherry, this is I think that you are winning over a lot of people in the district as they get to know you. Have you found that?
Well, I think people that maybe didn't know me or kind of doubted me in the beginning, now I have a voting record, so I can really show what I'm about, and I think people's actions speak a lot louder than words. So maybe not initially, not during the campaign, but now that we're down to the wire and really working, I think people can see. So I think so, and I've met some wonderful people in our district and just happy to be serving.
Well, the word on the street is Sherry Biggs is the bomb.
I don't know about that. I just keep my head down and try to do my job.
That's right. And you are doing great out there. And we appreciate the fact that you were able to come by here this afternoon and spend a few minutes with you in our pop-up interview. So, Sherry Biggs, Representative Sherry Biggs, thank you so much for coming out today.
Well, thank you so much. I was hoping we could drop in some of those boutiques downtown, but my staff, they got me lined out pretty good, so they're making me work hard. No time for shopping.
No time for shopping. Well, we're having a big concert this weekend in town. It's called For the Love Of, and you fill in the blank for music, art, whatever is going on Friday evening and all day Saturday. It's a new fall festival. It's going to have food trucks and music. That's what it's all about. So we're looking forward to it, and it's a beautiful weekend. Beautiful weekend for it too.
Well, it sounds like a fun time.
Are you going to have any fun this time? You got any time off? Are you taking any time off Saturday?
I'm going to church on Sunday.
Okay. All right, Sherry Biggs, Representative Sherry Biggs. It is so nice to have you here with you, and Penny really enjoyed seeing you. In fact, she dressed up in a Halloween costume for you.
Penny is looking great. She's ready to go trick-or-treating.
She's ready to go no, just treating. Just treats, treats. Anyways, Sherry, thanks so much for coming by today. This is WCRS. We've been on a pop-up interview right here, and we're going to put the curtain down and say adieu. Thanks so much for joining us. We will replay this, but you can always go check it out on Facebook, and by Monday, it'll be on our website, WCRS1450am.net. Take it away with a little music. Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you.
Well, that was our interview with Sherry Biggs, Representative Sherry Biggs. I hope you enjoyed it. Actually, for me, it was great to go back and rehear it and hear some of the things that are happening, not only in our district, but in Washington, D.C. So, looking forward to next year. Hopefully earlier in the year we're going to be able to go up there and spend some time with Sherry and really see what she's doing up there. I'll be looking forward to doing that, and also getting together with our other representatives. There are plans afoot to have pop-up interviews with other representatives, our senators, and we'll be checking it all out. So you got to stay tuned right here on WCRS Radio. I'm Ann Eller. This is going to really do it for me. I did want to mention, I hope I will be here tomorrow, Saturday, from 9:30 to 12:30, and we'll be discussing all the events going on around everything. There is so much happening. Don't forget football tonight. Also, Clemson has no game tomorrow. Probably a good thing. No game tomorrow. South Carolina, USC has, it's a home game, and Alabama is coming to town. So that's a good thing. And what else? Tonight. Emerald Vikings, of course, are right here on WCRS Radio. It is Fountain Inn, and it is a home game. Greenwood Eagles, who do they play? J.L. Mann, that is a home game. And the 96 Wildcats, American Leadership, and that is a home game. Those are the three games that I actually have on hand right here. Don't forget, also, Miracle League is tomorrow morning, 9:30, out there at the Burton Center. This could be their last game. I think it is their last game for this season. They'll be back, of course, in the spring. But if you want a cool thing to do with you, yourself, your family, get out there and just see what's going on at the Burton Center. 9:30 to 11:30. Go watch an old-fashioned ball game done their way. You know, we talk about I did it my way. They do it their way. So make sure you check out that. Wagoween is this evening, right? Today's the 24th. Wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Wagoween is going on this evening. That is at, Good Times Brewing, I believe. That's going to be a great fundraiser for the Humane Society. A lot of people have come on and helping with that. That's a good thing. Always a good time at that. And there is so many more. I'm not even going to try to talk about all the trick-or-treat places. Tomorrow morning, I'll be talking about trick-or-treat and all that good stuff. I just got to say this. When I was growing up, trick-or-treat was only one night. How come today everybody has trick-or-treat galore? It is everywhere. It is everywhere. But I think it's cool. I think it's very cool. But I just thought about... Yes, you got your costume ready for school. You went out and did trick-or-treating that night, and then it was over. Poof! Now it goes on forever since about the 15th, 16th of the month. We've been trick-or-treating. That's right. Penny goes, "Come on, Mom, let's go. I'd like to go get more treats." Anyways, I know some of you have known. I'm just going to say this. My... not being sure that I'd done the right thing about Penny. You know, she was a puppy, and this is what everybody kept telling me. She's a puppy, Ann. She's a puppy, Ann. Give her some slack. And I'd say, yes, but with my life, I just don't have the time for this. And I'd go off on my little rants, and they'd say, well, do you want to get rid of her? No, I don't want to get rid of her. I just want her to change. Well, Penny is almost a year. In fact, I'm thinking about a big birthday celebration for Penny, which she would dearly love. But she has become quite enjoyable. And the puppy that I thought I was getting has finally arrived right here in my lap. Well, she's not in my lap, but she's right here. And it has become very enjoyable to have Penny. Now, if I could just figure out what this pain in my butt is, I'd be good. That's right. I have pulled a muscle that I didn't know I had. I think that's what it is. I didn't realize how important those butt muscles were to being able to walk. OMG. Anyways, I hope you all have a good day. I do want to tell you one more thing, however. The Valor Program, which stands for Veteran and Armed Forces Legal Outreach, coming out of the Attorney General's office, will be here next Thursday, October 30th, from 9 to 2. They are going to be at the Greenwood County Veterans Center in Uptown Greenwood. You do need to call to make an appointment. What do? They do, and this is for veterans and their spouses. Basic will, living will, power of attorney, making sure that you've got those end-of-life things taken care of. Now, they may be able to talk to you about some other things, but those are the basic things they will be prepared to do right there. But if you'd like to have an appointment, if you haven't got a will that is a South Carolina will, I actually didn't know this, but you need to have a will where you're living, not maybe where you lived. So if you need to get your will updated, changed, they will do basic wills, living will, power of attorney. That will be Thursday, October 30th from 9 to 2. You do need to call and make an appointment. The number to call, 864-450-9268. That's 864-450-9268. This is a free, I'm saying free, as in no cost, for our veterans and their spouses. So make sure you take advantage of that. That, my friends, because I've got another appointment to get to hobble to, is it for me. I hope you all have a fabulous day. Make sure you're checking out Freddie McClendon is the headliner tonight, so make sure you're checking that out. Lots of good stuff going on uptown Greenwood. It's going to be another great weekend. So, bye-bye, everybody. Cue the curtain, and I'm out of here, so have a great day. Take it away.